how have we done in the college football playoff? Fairly decent, right?
Welcome back to the
all 10 years of the playoff, the only conference to send a team to every single one of those playoffs.
SEC
and how about
now.
these 16 wins in 10 years, and a couple of natties as well. 6 of them, the only conference to have 3 different schools win a college football national championship. That's a lot of titles over the years, and a man that was there to witness a lot of them from the jump, an OG of the SEC network, Anthony McFarland, a.k.a. Booger. Hey, Boog, when was the last time somebody called you Anthony there?
Roger Goodell. I remember that.
Yeah?
Exactly. That's been a long time. 1999.
It's been a moment, man. We're celebrating these 10 years when you think about it. Like, what made you want to be a part of this and what we've done over this last decade?
You know what, PB, it was the people, man. Just to be a part of something special. I'll never forget when I got the call from Stephanie Drewley, and we got to give her a lot of credit because of her foresight and her vision and the people she hired. But I'll never forget getting the call, and she was like, we're going to start something from the ground up, and we think you'd be perfect for it because of your personality. Obviously, you went to LSU, but what you could bring, because we want this to be fun, we want this to be informative, and we're not concerned about numbers and all these different things. We just want people, if you want to watch the SEC, we want you to come to this network and say, okay, they are informing me, they're entertaining me, they're enlightening me, and hopefully over the 10 years we've done that.
One of the great things I remember so well is get your name in the paper. I still this day, CD and I was talking about that. Get your name in the paper, stop by, get the Starkville Sun, get one for mama, one for grandma.
Yeah.
But that was just an example of like the amount of fun that we always had in this studio. We still do, just different people sometimes. But hey, Doran, special relationships have been developed over the years with this network.
No doubt, and I don't care where you go, Dari. The relationships are what make whatever business you work in, because without the relationships, it's just brick and mortar. It's just the ability to come, and I can't believe PB got me on the balance beam. I would literally probably tear an Achilles if I jumped off that, and look at that right there. Like, that's unreal. Farmer Blow. It's just the relationships, because without those relationships, there's no way you would ever try some of the things that we tried. And those relationships have lasted. I mean, Darius, it's been 10 years. Like, even though I'm no longer coming to the SEC network day in and day out, how many times do I text you or text PB or text CD, and we're talking football and we're talking life, like the friendships. I'm a firm believer. Life is about relationships, and the relationships that I developed right there in Charlotte are still with me today. And to me, that's so impactful. Regardless of where I go, regardless of what I'm doing for ESPN, I'll never forget, and I do never forget, because relationships in life are hard to come by, and I developed some great ones there.
And Boog, I'll never forget what you did for me when I started here at the network. I wasn't here year 1, came in year 2, and you were my mentor, a guy that kind of took me under the wing, and we've developed a great friendship. I think the thing that the fans miss out on the most is not what we're doing on the air, but in the studios, we're watching games off of the air. What moment comes to mind, if at all, in your time here in the Charlotte studio that maybe was the most memorable off the air, off the camera?
Well, probably the thing I remember the most is the LSU-Florida game. And LSU's trying to run toss sweep 12 times on the goal line. And I'm like, at some point, can we do a play-action pass? And I'll never forget when Darius Guice got stuff and Florida runs on the field. I think Jim McElwain was the coach, and I looked at your face and the emotion on your face. And for everyone out there, we're supposed to be impartial. But understand this. They hired us because we went to these SEC schools. And so you have an LSU guy and a Florida guy. We're watching this game, and we're waiting on somebody to win and somebody to lose. And right now, it's a goal line stand. And I can't wait for LSU to score, because I'm going to talk so much noise to Doran for the rest of the night. That's all I was waiting on. And for us to get denied so many times and to see the look on your face. Now, Florida had to beat LSU many times. But that day, you got the best of me. And every time I looked to my right, I saw a smile on your face. And I knew for you that was worth it.
And Boog, you know what else it meant to me? It was that I got to go cover the SEC championship game. Remember, I wasn't going to be able to go unless Florida was in it. So that game not only got my alma mater a win, but got me to Atlanta with you guys to help cover that game, too. It meant an awful lot in that respect.
Here's the greatest part about the network, guys. Like, check this out. So we're celebrating 10 years of the SEC network, and we're going down memory lane. And I was thinking to myself, how can we show the audience how the network has evolved over 10 years? And I couldn't think of but one way to show, because Dorian, I was your mentor. And to see you year one to where you are now, it's amazing, my brother. You've been outstanding. But the hair, to see where your hair started at year one, to see where your hair is now, look at the evolution. You went from the spike to the comb over. I'm not sure what you call that, to where you are now. Like, I've never seen a guy age backwards. And so if you look at our network and you're trying to encapsulate or encompass, I guess is a better word, a picture of the network, look no further than your hair, my brother. You have done an amazing job of aging backwards with the hair.
Can we roll that? Just the first shot. Just the first shot.
I'll say this, in addition to the hair, I used to get killed for the pleated suit. Yeah.
Look at that.
It's a bad look. Yeah. I credit the vitamins and the skincare routine. Everything seemed to really be working.
Benjamin Button.
Impressive.
And here's the one thing I do notice, guys. If you look at the first picture, Dorian didn't have as much hair as he has now. So is that vitamins, or is that did you go Jason Witten on me? Like talk to me about that.
It's one of the
I
top
don't think
10.
you're going to get it out of him.
Yeah, it's a top 10 comeback in the history of this conference. Boog, hey man, we love you. We love that friendship. On behalf of everybody, we appreciate it. We'll see what the hair looks like in another 10 years for Dorian, all right?
Hey man, thank you guys for having me. CD, again, I mean every word I said. It's a pleasure. Dari, my brother from day one on TV, when you told me to look at the red light, it's been a dream come true ever since then. And Peter Burns, it's amazing to see someone who is so passionate about this conference, get to cover this conference day in and day out. You truly are working your dream job, and it shows each and every day, my brother. Congratulations to everyone. Congratulations to us.
Thanks, man, Boog.
Thank you, man.
Later.
Look, a lot happens in 10 years. That list is every football coach, head coach or interim, that has been a head coach in this league in the decade we've been a network. There is one school that can say, we've had the same guy the entire time. And what school is that, folks? That would be Kentucky. Mark Stoops, the one head coach who has been here. That was him the night we launched, August 14th of 2014, and he's still there. 48 coaches have come and gone. 48. But he has been here the whole time. As we welcome in the head coach at Kentucky, the only head coach at Kentucky in the SEC Network era, Mark Stoops. 48, but only one in Lexington. What does it mean to now be that elder statesman of the SEC, coach?
Yeah, it really does, mean a lot to me. I've been asked that question a lot since Coach Saban retired and SEC media days and such, and it really does mean a lot. I'll be honest with you, because it's hard. I think everybody knows how difficult it is to compete in this league, and that stat kind of blows me away. Since that's just in the 10 years since the league's been in effect. I've been here 12, but 48 head coaches have come and gone, and those are a lot of good football coaches. There's no doubt, and I have a ton of respect for every one of them. We know the challenges that come with playing in this league. That's the stat alone kind of shows it and proves it that it's easier said than done. I know there's a lot of armchair quarterbacks, and we take a lot of criticism, which we should. A lot is expected. When much is given, a lot's expected. That's the same here. I'm just trying to do the best job I can at Kentucky and continue to push this program forward.
So, Coach, we sit here 10 years later. It's hard to go back and imagine what this league was like without the SEC Network, but I try to put myself in that position of what the concept really was. Nothing like this existed at the time. How has the partnership between the SEC Network and specifically you guys at Kentucky, how has that relationship grown? How has that benefited your program?
It's hard to quantify how much it's meant. Not just blowing smoke, to you guys, but you do such a good job. Ever since day one, I think the day one when the league came out, it's hard to believe it was 10 years ago, but I remember when it came out, and just how the network looked, how professional it looked, the talent that we were able to attract to be in the studio and the content that you provide. It's truly been remarkable. It's great for our fan base and all of us, all the fans in the SEC. I think we all look forward to it, to seeing other sports, to seeing what's going on with football. I mean, it's just been truly amazing. I think it exceeded everybody's expectations, certainly mine.
Hard to probably go back and say, okay, this was what it was like 10 years ago, but I'll ask you to try it anyway, Coach. What's the biggest difference in SEC football now versus then?
I think, to me, very similar in a lot of ways. I think, obviously, some of the challenges that are going on in college sports in general, not just SEC football, but across the country in college sports, I think that's the thing that's on all of our minds. Just how do we keep this, great, college model, the same in the good parts. I know we all need to grow and we need to adapt to change, and we accept that and want that, but we also want to keep, the good that it's been. I think, that's the big thing. I think that definitely things are changing. You definitely have to adapt or you're going to be irrelevant. And, how do we keep the beautiful aspects of this great game the same, and then maybe even continue to grow it and expose our players to more and more. And, again, that's a compliment to this network, just the content that you provide.
Coach, we're reliving our greatest moments over the last 10 years. I'm going to put you on the spot. I should have given you a heads up here, but give me one moment over the last 10 years of the SEC network quickly, kind of that comes to mind when we talk about that period.
Besides beating Florida more than once. How's that?
I think, on the network itself, I think, I don't know. I think, each and every time, you come to one of us coaches after a game, I think there's I always try to take a moment, compose myself, and just make sure you continue to operate with the humility that I believe this job deserves. And I'm not going to lie, you guys know I try to keep things pretty tight to the vest, but there's been moments after some big wins that I was holding it in. I was holding in, tears that I wanted to celebrate, but keep it in perspective, and you got to reload. You can get humbled every 7 days in this job.
No question. Listen, it's been great to have you with us on this show. We appreciate your time. We'll talk to you soon in the fall.
Yeah. Dory and I vote for Lynn Bowden moving to quarterback. That was one of the greatest
Oh, that too. Yeah, that's up there.
That is up there, that's for sure. No, I mean this. I greatly appreciate the work that you all do. I know how hard you work. I always love it. Susan Lax is in my office right now, our SID, and when she tells me what network we're on and what crew's coming in, I love seeing y'all.
Appreciate you. Tell Lax we said hello. Yeah, thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Much more still ahead. We'll head to the Diamonds, where dominance has certainly been the operative word. Tim Walton, the Gator head coach, on why one of his favorite memories was not actually a win, and perhaps no sport in this league has shown national dominance like baseball in the SEC network era. Ryan McGee paints that picture of excellence.
We'll be right back.